Okay, so this is our first season that we're open at Dorsey. I have a lot of organizational work to do, but we are up and ready to go for this first weekend, which is very exciting. When you first arrive, one of the first things you'll see here is the primary drink fridge. It's really well stocked. If you get here and you happen to notice, there's only one row left of Diet Cokes, please take a moment and go ahead and restock it. As for the canned soda, don't double stack them. I know there are some double stacked in the very back, but let's not do that as a whole because it doesn't allow circulation and the drinks don't get cold enough. Just to the left here, you'll see in the opening checklist especially, or actually in the closing as well, that there's a responsibility to put out the A-frames and bring it back in. I don't have the menu and the laminated forms ready to go on here yet, so just ignore that for this weekend. As you move along here, we're taking a stab at kind of leaving the candy out in its wrappers and boxed here. It's nice because it's really easy for people to see what we have as options. You can just grab and go and deliver things right from here. Down below, the only thing really in a cabinet that you'll be grabbing maybe more regularly are the chips. So this first cabinet is full of just chips. We opened up the box so it's nice and easy to grab, and that way you can just leave the samples kind of up there on the top shelf. Moving along through the snack stand, I'm actually going to be putting a note here, but for sunflower seeds, we must serve them with a cup, please, 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 because we don't want sunflower seeds everywhere. The city does not look favorably on that, so we have these extra cups here, the small cups that are specifically for the sunflower seeds. Moving along, we have the cash box. So in here, when you arrive, there won't be any cash if you're an opener. Where you will find all the starting procedures for the day is in this first drawer. If you're an opener or closer, we have the checklist in here. We ask you to actually take one out, check off the items, date and sign the last page. It gives you an opportunity to let us know if we're low on inventory for anything, if we had to throw anything away, or there are any noteworthy issues for the day. In this folder will be cash for the day. So the opener will go ahead and put the initial cash in here. If you're arriving middle part of the day, you'll be able to just use the cash box as is. If you get really low on any particular denominations, especially quarters and ones, we do have information right over here on the fridge of who you can contact. We have Jessica is our primary contact. She's a site lead for this location, but as long as I'm not on the field coaching, you can always reach out to me as well, and I will get back to you as timely as I can. We have a couple items that are actually microwavable. So we have instructions right here to keep it very simple. We have mac and cheese, cup of noodles, burritos, and pretzels. All of those, the burritos and pretzels are frozen items that you're gonna find in the freezer. The mac and cheese and cup of noodles are shelf items, and you're gonna be finding those right up here. The cup of noodles would be right next to the mac and cheese. Then we have some overflow of just any extra candy, cookie items, etc. In this particular bin, hopefully it looks like this when you arrive each and every time. I like to make sure that anything that someone's going to touch, or like utensils that actually touch someone's mouth, that we cover them at the end of the day and really protect them. So in here is a little caddy with forks and knives and napkins. Let's make sure we put that away at the end of every shift. And then the cups for sugars, sweeteners, and this one for creamer. All of that can be put out on the counter so people can just grab it easily, grab and go as they order items through the day. On this top shelf, you're gonna find coffee for the Keurig, creamers, gloves for anyone that's handling any food, hot dogs or sausages. At the very top up here, we have extra tumblers. You'll notice that we have a promotion right now. We have a special item, which is a South Bay Pony tumbler. I'm gonna have a nice sign that accompanies this, but for $20, people can get a coffee and a tumbler. If you do need extras, you're gonna find them right over here above the coffee area. So next to the sink, we have a toaster, which can be used for the bagels and anything that's a bread product. We do keep in the fridge so that it stays nice and fresh. We have a Keurig machine. The water area is in the very back. You do have to lift the lid and go ahead and add more water. We don't sell a ton of coffee or hot chocolate at a location like this, but if it does show low water, you'll just want to fill up a cup with water and then insert it into the very back. For the most part with coffees, I'd recommend making a 10-ounce cup. If you make it any bigger than that, it's really generally not strong enough. Here is our hot dog machine. Usually, right now we're going to be open at this location on the weekends. So I'm going to say around 9:30 a.m. Whoever's here for that shift is generally going to start the hot dogs and sausages. using this hot dog roller. Also, the closers at the end of the day are responsible for cleaning this. Please, please, please do a good job. We want to keep everything as clean and sanitary. And again, we want to, keep the rodents and any ants or anything like that out of here. Then next to that, and right before we get to the window, is our square system. I have a separate video for that. It is even accessible right here. If you arrive and you didn't get a chance to look at it, there's a QR code that this shows you how to log into the square system. And my separate video does show you, in a minute or less, how to actually use it for basic transactions. Please, please, please track everything through the square stand. It allows us to track our inventory. It allows us to understand what's selling and not selling at each location, and just track, the net cash flow as well. Hopefully right here by the stand should be your menus. We have new menus for this season, some new items, and those are all updated and listed here. The two with the clipboards you can go ahead and put on the counter for people to see easily. And here is the main window, and so it's pretty straightforward. All you're going to be doing is taking the 2x4 off, and then the window is just unhinged after you've unhinged them right here at the very top. Okay, and then lastly, let me go ahead and show you just fridge and freezer. In here, you're gonna see the primary things at this location we're starting with are Uncrustables, we have Otter Pops, we have different ice creams. We're always gonna have some extra hot dogs and sausages that we keep on the door that are frozen. And very important up here, I will make sure we have a nice label for it. We have hot and cold packs, so if there are any injuries, we wanted to have something a little bit better than those instant packs. So those are showing to be nice and cold and a better option. And then in the fridge, again, we're not starting with a lot of hot food here, so we've got hot dogs and sausages. If you do go ahead and open a package, please, put it in a Ziploc. Let's not leave a huge mess for the person that comes after you. Next to it are all the condiments, and we have backup and extra. We've got our bagels, and then we've got our hot dog buns down below. On the door, you'll find that we have packs of cream cheese, so you can just hand those to anyone that orders a bagel, so we're not preparing and making too much of a mess. And then our microwave, which I had mentioned, and below that you will find Ziploc bags. So again, please, if you open sausages, hot dogs, take a moment, don't leave a big mess for us to clean up later. And just some extra silverware, utensils, baggies, and foil. So, like I said, we have a long way to go with actually getting this up and completely organized the way we'd like, but hopefully this makes you feel a little bit more comfortable walking in this weekend. And we hope, you enjoy your volunteer time. Thank you for volunteering and being a part of Pony.